Hey, welcome back to Vaguely Adults. You have one half of your favorite vaguely looking adults here today. I'm one of your hosts, Sarana, and today we're going to be going over the 2021 Formula One season. Now, we're going to start this off by saying that I am a very new fan to Formula One. I only got into it because one of my friends, Slen, actually was like, hey, I think you might be interested in this Netflix show. Do you want to give it a go? And then we binged all of it in just a few days. All of this is going to be my personal opinion. Yeah, I'm not out to offend anyone. This is just purely my thoughts and opinions about the season as a new fan getting into the circus that is Formula One. So, let's get this out of the way before we get any further. Starting off watching Drive to Survive, I was not the biggest Lewis fan. Over the progression of the season, however, that changed after getting to kind of know him outside of the grid, watching interviews and, getting a little bit more understanding of what he does to give back to the community. I think he's a great lad. Driving, somewhat controversial here and there. But my favorite drivers, Daniel Ricciardo, Pierre, Carlos, of course, Charles. Having favorite drivers doesn't necessarily mean that their skills are up to par, and I think this season has definitely shown a lot of struggles. When I came in, I knew that Daniel has gone across a couple of teams, from Red Bull to Renault to McLaren, and I can't say that this season was spectacular by any means. Going back and having watched a lot of his Red Bull performances and how he was able to handle that car and how different he's struggled almost all season despite the one win at Monza, but kind of a disappointing season for him. Anyway, that's not where we're gonna go. We're gonna start off with the Constructors Championship. Mercedes took first place once again. There's not much to say there. They had an incredibly strong season. I think Valtteri he had his ebbs and flows, but, for the performances that Lewis put in, I think it was a very, very strong season for Mercedes, and I'm very much looking forward to next season. But, Red Bull, big Max fan once I started the season in June. Just off the bat, I thought he was outperforming the car, I feel like, because if you compare performances with Sergio was doing amazingly well, all things considered, looking at Red Bull's history, but Max just absolutely killed it. He had one of the craziest, best seasons, I would say. Also, I should say that once I get into something, I do incredible deep dives and go as far back as I can. I've not watched old races, but I've definitely gone back and watched a lot of the highlights that's on the Formula One channel, and I've been consuming a lot of the race content and WTF1. I went in the deep end, and this is where I am now. But Ferrari, decent season, I can say. I was very surprised at Carlos's performance the entire season, because I thought he was going to take a little more time to adapt to the new car, the new systems, and he was doing absolutely incredible and ranked higher than Charles in the driver standings. So, very excited to see what's to come for him, because I think he's going to be a very important driver to look at in the coming years. Definitely world champion material, in my personal opinion. I don't know. Anyways, McLaren, Lando had an amazing start to the season, and then it just got sad when, he lost his, he was really, really going for that first win in Sochi, and then the weather, it was absolutely gutting. Even though being a new fan watching those races, it was just, I felt for the guy. Alpine, I don't really have strong opinions on Alpine. AlphaTauri, though, Pierre has outperformed that car in amazing, amazing ways, and he put that car in places that it really shouldn't have been, I feel like. Being a midfield car and qualifying in the top 10, top 4, top 6, definitely deserves to be in the sport, but I really would love to see him in a more capable machine. Aston Martin, gotta say, pretty disappointing overall. Not sure if that was just because of not vibing with the car. I mean, they're 7th, so it's not that bad. Williams, I mean, obviously, Mr. Saturday himself, George Russell, he really, really put on a show this season. You know, his qualifying in Spa and getting P2. We're not going to talk about the quote-unquote race, because I still don't think that Sunday was an actual race. But the podium regardless, and it was, yeah. Qualifying, though, was absolutely spectacular. Alfa Romeo, thoughts on that is that I'm sad to see Kimi go, because it was very, very interesting to see him this season and kind of get to know him as a driver and as a person. And I think he's a really interesting guy, and yeah, I'm sad that I only got into it now and have to say goodbye to him. But Antonio's off to Formula E. Best of luck to him. Very sad that he's going, because I'm gonna miss looking at his face. And last and least favorite team, Haas. I am just so sad for Mick to be in that car, because it just... Yeah, they've put a lot of resource into the 2022 car, apparently, so I'm very excited to see what that's going to turn out to be like. But Haas... Come on, man. At most, that was a Formula 2 car. At most. What an awful season for them. Honestly, just dead last. 0 points. 0. Quite unfortunate. Anyway, so going to the driver standings, I wonder if I should rank this based on my preferences of drivers, I guess. Okay, if I had to pick my top 5 drivers personality-wise, I would do Daniel. Then Daniel is number 1, best personality on the grid. Then I would pick Sebastian as number 2. Love that guy. Very happy that I got to know him now and not earlier in his career, because, yeah, controversial past, but love the guy now, and I love the work that he's doing, and, you know, the representation that he's trying to showcase on the grid. A lot of his pride shirts and things that he's standing up for. Okay, I have Daniel and Sebastian. Then I think I'm gonna go Charles for number 3, and then personality. That's okay. We're going Pierre for number 4, and then number 5. Favorite personality on the grid. I think it's gonna be a tie between George and Mick, because I love the behind the scenes stuff with Mick and Sebastian. I think that's absolutely lovely, and I love that little relationship. But yeah, so my top 5.5, I guess, on the grid is Daniel, Sebastian, Charles, Pierre, and Mick. No one asked for that, but yeah, that's what I had to say about that. I'm gonna have a no comment on Nikita being 21 out of 20 on the driver standings for 2021. Yep, that's my thoughts on that. Overall, I think the 2021 season was the craziest season. It was the most ridiculous time for me to actually get into the sport, and I have absolutely no regrets. It was a spectacle and a half. I have no doubt that Max deserved that title. He had an amazing season and showed his capabilities and how well he was able to handle a car in absolutely tough circumstances, and it's just the way that it ended that still feels a bit murky to me. It just felt a little not okay. I hope that the investigation towards the FIA actually turns out a reasonable result where we have better racing, better rules, better people calling the shots, because currently the people in charge don't seem fit enough to be able to handle those things. But yeah, what can I say? It is just a spectacle and a theater performance, really, at the end of the day. So regardless, I don't think there's a... Yeah, but regardless, those are my thoughts on that. And looking forward to the 2022 driver lineup. The team that I'm most excited about, honestly, is Russell and Mercedes. I really want to see him race alongside Lewis, because I think that would be an amazing kind of mentorship thing. Yes, it's the English bias amongst themselves. I'm not English. I don't have English bias, but yeah, I think it would be very interesting to see, 7, almost 8-time world champ, mentor George and take him to new highs, because George's secure performance was amazing. That's one of the things that I learned very early on, because it had like a tiny snippet in Drive to Survive, and I was very interested because I was like, oh, why are these pictures of George in a Mercedes, suit? And I was like, oh, he did that in a car that was too small for him, in shoes that were too small for him, and still finished 9th, although he was leading for a very long time and, being very much on par with Valtteri, and puncture happened and everything went south. But what can you do? Also very interested to see Alex back on the grid. Loved his personality in Drive to Survive when he was in the show. The rest of the grid was not mixed up as it normally is, so I think Ferrari is going to be one to look out for next year. I've not really picked a team that I'm backing, because I still want to see what's going to be going on in preseason testing, and then once the races actually get on its way, it would be very interesting to see the new developments, what certain teams started to actually focus on more, and overall the new development of the cars. In conclusion, the last set of thoughts, Haas, being Haas, I get it, the car sucks, but being 21 in a 20 driver lineup, especially when you've shown better capabilities and Formula 2 and etc. It's I expected something more. But again, it's a combination of the car and it being incredibly undrivable. But I mean, Mick took that Haas into places it shouldn't have been as well. So how much can you say it's the car and not just the combination of the car and the anyway, let me stop. Closing thoughts. For 2022, I would really like to see some Russell podiums. I'd like to see some Sebastian podiums. Fingers crossed for maybe a Schumacher podium. I feel like that might be asking for too much, but with all the new regulations and just all the general changes and the car being entirely new, who knows if we're going to see a one-off champion? We have no idea. Can't really tell until the testing and stuff starts off. But yeah, very excited to see how this new season is going to unfold. Who's going to be at the top, who's going to be fighting for that championship, and how these cars are going to perform. The liveries are also going to be very exciting. Well, yeah, until then, I hope you've enjoyed me rambling about Formula 1, and if this is of any interest to you guys, let me know, and maybe I'll keep doing it. But as always, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. If you have, remember to subscribe, like, do all the things. Find us on any of your favorite podcasting sites, rate us, leave a comment, leave a review. It really does help a lot. And as always, hope you're staying safe, hope you're staying well, hope you're staying hydrated, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye! Vaguely adult, things are just vaguely adult.